Welcome to the Philadelphia Foundation Grants and Programs team webinar regarding step 2 of your competitive grant application. We're looking forward to sharing some new information with you about the process, anything we can provide to help make it more clear. And we will have time for questions. We ask that you put your questions into the chat, please. And also, if you're having difficulties with your own organization's application, you're missing an email or you're having trouble with the link, we'd like to ask you to put that into the chat. We won't have time to address individual organization issues, but you will hear from a staff member by the end of the day to help you resolve any concerns about a missing link or missing email. This session is being recorded. We'll be providing it to other people who wanted to be a part of the webinar but weren't able to attend in real time. We ask you to mute your microphone and use the chat box, as I was just saying. If you have questions about your individual organization, please put those into the chat and we will get back to you by the end of the day. And we ask that you not share information from the PowerPoint on social media. We will be making it available on our website. And you're welcome to share it from there if you would like to with other organizations. All right, I'm Leanne Ayers. I'm the Director of Grants and Programs. Sharessa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Sharessa Gordon. I am the Program Officer for Grant Making and Operations.
I'm Angie Pavon. I'm the Program Officer for the Fund for Children.
Hello, my name is Kadrice McIntosh, and I'm the Grant Associate with Philadelphia Foundation.
Hi, I'm Casey, Program Officer. I'm in charge of direct service, Gen Op grants, the DA funds, and a few other special initiatives I help out with.
We're basically putting you back to a slide that we showed you at the deck from our first presentation in February. The original common application was what we're calling step 1. Out of step 1, we looked at people's applications, which are becoming their organizational profile, which was added to their application for step 2. So basically, we were just wanting to recap how we got here. We had you do a common application, and a lot of you got links to either one or multiple of our funding opportunities, and that's what we're talking about today, step 2.
Okay, and Sharessa, help me out here if I don't get all the way there. So in your email where you received information about our competitive grants, you may also have been invited to apply for the Henrietta Tower Wirtz Memorial or the Foreman Family Fund. You may have received a separate email inviting you to apply for the GSK Impact Awards.
The organizations who were selected to apply for GSK were notified that we have done a preliminary review, and we will conduct a second review, and then we will send them the link.
So people should have gotten their step 2 link from Smarter Select for their advocacy, direct service, Fund for Children, Impact Leadership, as well as Henrietta Tower Wirtz and Foreman Family Fund, if you were invited to those.
The second application is due by March 29th at midnight. And that's true for all the competitive grants. It's true for Henrietta Tower Wirtz, and it's true for the Foreman Family Fund. Thanks, just wanted to repeat that for folks, Angie. Because we're going to share this PowerPoint with you, we wanted to just reiterate the categories. I know for the most part, you were sent links to a category you had requested, but a few of you may have gotten a link to a different category. That was based on our assessment, both of your profile and how many applications we have in each category. In every case, we've sent you to the category where we think you have the best chance to be competitive for funding. If you need more information about that, please put a note in the chat and we will reach out to you with additional information.
This is a screen capture of what you should have gotten in the mail, in an email. Whoever submitted the application in Smarter Select should have gotten an email that looks like this with, Philly Foundation coming directly from our Smarter Select platform and sending you your individualized link to apply. I want to take this moment to apologize for those in the Fund for Children application that they got this link and it had an additional date of September there. And just to clarify, our deadline for this application, Fund for Children, and all the other ones except for GSK is the 29th at midnight. So basically, if you didn't get something like this, you should put a note in the chat so that we can get back, like Leanne said, get back to you by the end of today to make sure that you have all the links that you are supposed to have in order to fill out the applications. Just want to reiterate, some of you also had questions about application and reports that should be done. So I wanted to do a quick showing you where it is that nonprofits can find the information in our website to fill out any reporting. So basically, I took a screenshot again of the Fill a Found, and on the top bar there's a link to nonprofits. But you can just follow that link and go into apply for grants and then grant reporting requirements. And this is what you see once you see grant reporting requirements. Basically, if you're applying with us now and you had a grant with us before, you should submit a report. It doesn't need to be done by the 29th, but it needs to be done sometime before we make a decision. Because if we come up to a point where, we're making decisions and we go try to find your report and it's not there, then we're going to have to put you at the bottom of the pile. We'll certainly reach out and say, hey, can you submit this report? If you look at the bottom of this slide, it has individual links to the different programs, or it has information about how to submit a report if it doesn't have a link. Next slide, Ted.
Angie, let's say no later than the end of April for those, okay?
Yeah, no later than the end of April. If from my experience, I tend to, if you're on the borderline, if you don't have a report, then you really should have your reports ready, because that's a background that we use to make our final decisions. Again, screenshots that we picked up, once you hit one of those links off of the website, you get to the grant report. Yeah, and these are all the different parts of the grant report. It's all in the Smarter Select platform. Feel free to email individual one of us, whatever category you're applying for, so we can show you how to get a grant report submitted. And like Leanne said, by the end of April, if you owe us a grant report. We want you to show us in your application, not only in the places where we ask, but show us all throughout your organization. What is the progress that your organization is making on a diversity, equity, and inclusion continuum? We have spoken in the past about a rubric that we have, and we are able to share that with you. And we really want to have all of our grantees working along a continuum of DEI emphasis, so that we can make sure that not only are the organizations we're funding reflective of the people that they are serving, but also inclusive. We love to see how you're responding to community needs. It's important that we are nimble and pivot to make sure that we are working on the needs of our community in real time. And finally, the whole concept of working through a transformative lens in which you really should have in your answers to your applications questions, your organization should be able to share with us what your theory of a change is and what are the long-term desired changes that your organization is trying to strive for beyond the direct service that might or the services that you might be providing.
These for the applications that you are invited to submit, each of them has additional attachments. So when you get to the bottom of your questions, you will see documents that needed to be attached. You're only required to attach whatever is on the application that you are submitting. So for the impact grant, you will need to provide a project budget for direct service. We are asking for a strategic plan, and there's another, just executive summary of the strategic plan. And also, Casey, remind me what's the additional attachment for direct service?
Yeah, the strategic plan is the main one, and as Sharessa said, the executive summary, and otherwise we'll just review the financials similar to we would with the other applications.
Right, and organizations with an interim ED should have a board-approved hiring and onboarding plan
Yes,
for
that's
permanent
great, thank you.
ED. So that's already on the form, so you will need to attach it as well. For foreman fund, there is a few attachments. You would need a project budget, and if we don't have the MOU, if you're using a fiscal sponsor and we don't have your MOU on file, we will require one. We're also going to be asking for images of your work as well as a curriculum. So that's already on the form. And for Henrietta, we also request a project budget. GSK impact, we would not require a project budget. I'm sorry, we'll adjust this before we send it out. So for GSK, I think we have all our attachments already, but if there's any additional, as we said, we are still working on GSK for 2024. So if there are additional attachments, we'll let you know in the application form as well.
And then the last thing I was noting there is if you're applying for a leadership grant, you'll also need to submit a project budget specific to the leadership project. Let's go back for a minute to the deadlines there. So again, just wanting to remind everybody that the due dates for all of these things, excluding GSK Impact, all of the competitive grants, Henrietta Tower Wirtz, and the Foreman Family Fund are all due on March the 29th at midnight. Just a reminder that our scholarships are open. You can find the scholarships at this link, and please send any students that you think might be interested. We always have scholarships that we're unable to fill, and so we want as many students as possible to be aware that we have literally hundreds of scholarships. We give about 350 a year, and our scholarships officer, if you have a question, is Kim Gilmore, and her information is also here.
The Key Skills Hub is an additional offering that we give to organizations. It's basically a technological platform called Catchafire, and we have a contract with them to support nonprofits in joining Catchafire. And in that platform, you're able to create projects, or you have calls with experts, and it can help you design everything from strategic plans, video presentation, branding presentations, all kinds of different materials to help your design and impact your nonprofit. If you are in applying for one of these grants, and you're interested in that, just shoot me an email. We are gonna have a limited amount of slots for nonprofits to be able to come in, so just send me an email and I will discuss with you if you're interested in this platform.